as the year of 1936, that has been extremely eventful in a may you live in interesting times sort of sense, comes to a close, there are many problems and many new and interesting developments that we have in the German Empire. First of all, in Braunschweig, they have declared the Socialist Republic of Braunschweig-Hanover or something of that delineation. And I have obviously sent the army in because, no, we are not having syndicalist uprisings and in the middle of our country. At the same time, across the lake, the Americans have voted a syndicalist into office. Now, they're still holding elections, but Jack Reed is now in power, and I am not sure that is going to go down well with everybody in the US, given their general non-preference for these sort of things. So there is, in the face that there may be something going down relatively soon, we are trying to form the German-American Self-Defense Associations, just in case anybody needs to enact their Second Amendment rights and take up arms against the government. And things are going interesting in the Balkans with the Belgrade Pact trying to kick Bulgaria in, and we might have to send troops down there as well. We will see. Plus, the French and the Belgians are still causing issues. But at least the Black Monday is somewhat under control. I will not be focusing on that too much anymore. If you want to have the detailed reasons, I have made a special episode about that. So have a look. So we are going to focus our focuses. First of all, once that's done, we'll escalate the Ruhrkampf and suppression, not the Ruhrkampf itself, and then trying to put an end to this because the whole thing is over. With von Schleicher being in power and only reporting to the Kaiser at this point. And then we're probably going to be doubling down on the draft Tarnobade plan to see if we can end the Black Monday crisis and get the bonuses from this branch here. And then there's still a couple more things about debt restructuring and things under the Freiwilliger Arbeitsdienst branch. But I also want to, given the overall world situation, make my way towards the military reform. I can't do that yet, but I'm assuming that maybe I need to get this one first, and for this I need to get the Black Monday down to -5, which should happen in the next rollover, so in about 60-70 days, and then we can see. I haven't looked into these focus trees in detail, but I think some of these focuses here are good to reduce the victors of the Weltkrieg problem a little bit, because we are actually having a positive political power income at this point, which is good, but. It also means we can potentially once we reach 150 political power do something with it. Now I was thinking of getting Chief of Army or Chief of Air Force in, because naval XP we can kind of generate ourselves relatively easily. But with the victors of the Weltkrieg, not much is going to happen. And the problem is that we have negative command power gain at this point. So even if I had, and in fact I do have enough political power, I can't use it because I don't have the command power to actually get these people into office, because So instead, given that we are going down the Tarnobade direction, I am thinking to either get the Krupp Industrial Company. There's a lot of good ones here. But this would give me 10% industrial research speed, and I do like to go down the industrial tree as fast as I can. Plus, it gives me factory construction. There are a couple more that are doing similar things. So the Gewerkschaft Deutscher Kaiser could be pretty good as well, because that gives me 15% civilian factory construction. So I just don't know how much political power we're going to have down the road. And there's also one here for production efficiency cap, which is great. So a lot of good things. But right now I'm more interested in the industrial research speed of the BAT. with some factory construction speed thrown in, and Krupp seems to be a relatively reasonable middle ground, given that we are fighting left, right, and center, and it looks like the world is heating up very rapidly. So I don't know at which point that will go down, but for now, that's probably what I'll get. Alternatively, we can also get some of the very good political advisors that are around here. And I think, Max Planck gives a 10% all over research speed bonus. That is huge, I think, honestly. So that would be great. And there are a couple more good ones, like the Captain of Industry we could get, which gives us construction speed. We also have Fritz Tano himself, which gives us the plus 10 for extra factories, but we don't need that yet because we're not yet saturated on slots. So meanwhile, I will save up the political power for now, and we are dealing with trying to get Ireland into the fold, and we are trying to help the Polish king to stay in power, and we have to just close off the Ruhrkampf. Under Article 19 of the Constitution of the German Empire, the Bundesrat is able to grant permission for a Reichsexekution, an execution of the realm, an intervention against the federal state in the condition that the state does not fulfill its constitutional duties. Until today, this power had never been used in the empire's history. There are several ways how a state may not fulfill their duties, refusing to pay its matricular contributions to the budget or provide the necessary military contingents, introducing laws that violate the constitution, or being responsible for activities against the existence of the empire. The last of them was invoked in a session of the Bundesrat today, where the council unanimously approved a Reichsexecution against Brunswick. Reichsexekution? Probably. Normally, an execution would first take the form of negotiations before military force is considered, but the government dismissed this option from the onset. They have taken up arms and declared the Soviet Republic of Brunswick. They are not negotiating with anybody. The Brunswicker socialists had no desire to end their struggle with mere concessions either. The Socialist Republic was being rapidly reorganized and had already established a small militia, preparing for the onslaught and hoping to endure the crackdown until the rest of the empire raises the flag of revolution. Article 19 states that the Kaiser, through his government, executes the Reichsexekution. The task falls upon the Reichskanzler to organize the troops to suppress the failed revolution. I'm way ahead of you, the troops are already in place. Order will be re-established, and that gives me the Reichsexekution. That'll fail, and that'll end the Brunswick insurrection because we already have the divisions in place, because I knew that was coming. So that was the extremely short-lived Socialist Soviet Republic of Brunswick and Hanover. And they have unfortunately damaged some roads and some dockyards by the looks of it. How are we having dockyards? Okay, it must have been further north near Wilhelmshaven. And here we go, the end of the Brunswick Revolution. The operation to extinguish the revolutionary events in Brunswick took place at haste, aiming to snuff out the Brunswick socialists before any other cities or states fall to the Syndicalist scourge. Scourge is a great word, I like that word. Mobilized units of the Imperial German Army crossed the border early in the morning, and though they caught the militias protecting the small duchy unaware, a response was soon organized, and clashes broke out across the streets of the capital. However, even highly motivated workers could not resist disciplined soldiers and heavily armored vehicles. Tanks drove through the hastily erected barricades, and militia units were scattered after swift firefights. In the Brunswick Palace, Chairman Rudolf Lindau and the small cabinet of the Socialist Republic was found and rounded up. Though Werner Küchenthal returned to Brunswick soil, he was not reappointed as Minister-President. Instead, after agreement between the Reichskanzler and Duke Ernst Augustus, a non-partisan state commissar was appointed to manage the restoration of order in the state. Brunswick is now de facto under central control from Berlin. Executions of main leadership of the Brunswick revolutionary attempt, and in this case we're talking not Reichsexekution, we're talking the give them a last cigarette and a blindfold sort. Execution of main leadership of the Brunswick revolutionary attempt, including Lindau, took place in the capital's prison soon afterwards. Understandably, the suppression of the Socialist Republic was decried as bloodthirsty tyranny in socialist press. So that gives us 10 base. Ruhrkampf reduced by 10 points, good. 10% base stability, good. Hanover loses a bit of population, and the resistance activity has been dealt with. So we are almost down to a 0 base value. Haven't seen that much stability in Germany in ages. All right, so that sorts that out. We're back down to 30. Still not enough to just reduce it, but I want to get through that first before we deal with the Ruhrkampf. And then that's that. In the meantime, I think, how many civilian factories do we got? 73. That is not an awful lot. And we do have, at this point, a decent construction speed. So I think I am going to start scheduling. A couple of civilian factories here on the quick, just in the high infrastructure areas to get things underway. These are all already occupied. Let's do a couple more here. There we go. So I'll prioritize. Are we building any in Hanover? No. We probably should. So let's build some in Hanover. So we'll get Hanover over the line. And then we start building a civilian factory there. And then the other ones and the military factories here can wait a little bit. How's my production currently looking? What am I short? I'm not yet building trains or flak. We are slowly starting to build up the Heinkels and the BF-109s, but we're still very much short on... we're very much short on everything. So currently the production efficiency is abysmal, and that is also the vast public works is putting a massive dent on this. So probably investing in civilian factories first is not a terrible idea. We'll finish this one up, but then we're going through some civilian factories here to bring that up to probably at least 100, and then focus on the military factories first. I don't want to leave it for too long because we might be running into trouble sooner rather than later. But let's get it over and done with. And it looks like Spain has fallen apart. So we have the Kingdom of Spain, we have the Carlist Spain, and we have the CNT FAI. Now, who are all these people? Let's have a look. So these guys are... okay, these are the anarchists. So these are the Iberian Anarchist Federation. Syndicalist, anarcho-syndicalists. Yep. Not these people, don't like them. Carlist Spain's... these are national populists, and we've got the Kingdom of Spain, which we are somewhat in favor of. So can we send some volunteers to the Kingdom of Spain? I believe we can. Now, I am not sure if the Spanish Civil War mechanic here is going to be the same as in the base game, but we will find out relatively soon, and let's see if we can keep the Kingdom of Spain alive. So, who are we going to send? How many can we send? Let's begin with that. Send volunteers. We can send 5 divisions. And unfortunately, my tank divisions are garbage. But Spain is reasonably hilly, so mountaineers might not be a terrible idea. I'll probably send a mixed army group here. Let me have a look at who we can bring along. So honestly, it's probably not a terrible idea to bring the tank divisions after all, because they have about as much soft attack as the regular infantry that I have here. And my regular infantry has no piercing whatsoever, so with 16 armor we should actually be okay. They are a bit slow, so I'll probably bring 2 tank divisions, 2 tank divisions, 2 mountain divisions, and 1 regular infantry. I could bring motorized infantry, but I don't think I don't have anything that can drop bombs on people at this stage, unfortunately. I do have 2 Jagdgeschwader, but yeah, due to unforeseen events, things haven't gotten my way. So let's bring the 2 mountain divisions. We'll bring the 2 panzer divisions, and we are going to bring maybe one of the cavalry divisions. What were these capable of? No, these are terrible. Let's bring the Garde infantry division. That we can do. So we have 5 divisions. Unfortunately, the Mountaineers are currently stationed in East Asia, but we can send these. And who are we going to put in power here? I would like an armor officer. Von Kluges this sounds like a relatively good choice. Model is not so much. He is a brilliant strategist, however. Kesselring. Okay, Höppner is reckless. I think von Kluge is the better choice here, to be honest. Yeah, so we'll get Günther von Kluge in power on that. So 5 divisions. Spain, send volunteers, and that would be the 8th Army under von Kluge. I'm doing it right this time. I am going to send air volunteers. So 8th Army, 5 volunteers, and that should be good. Okay, division's underway. And we will support the Kingdom of Spain, and we have 2 fighter wings here that can be of assistance, and we are producing a relatively small number, 1 a month, of Bf-109s, but we'll get there eventually. And that means, yeah, we should be good to start fighting in the Spanish Civil War now. Many things going on, and at some point it's going to get a little critical, because if I'm deploying everybody onto the civil wars left, right, and center, then any major war is going to get tricky. So the French have a reasonable amount of divisions stationed here. I don't know if that's all they have, but yeah, I'm reasonably certain that we can hold against the French if necessary, so we'll see how this goes. Oh yeah, and I no longer need these people. They can return, disband 5th Army, return to their duty, and I probably just want to drop you out from the army group. So no, this is they're going to become volunteers, so that's fine. We can leave them there. Once they're volunteers, I will shift the field marshal. I will not forget it this time. So volunteers should be underway. They allow a volunteer force, and it's going to be December, so 2 weeks about-ish until the volunteers arrive. Ever since the defeat of Napoleon, Spain has been plagued by violence, dissent, and turmoil. No amount of pleading, deal-making, and appeasement has managed to do more than paper over the cracks as tensions bubbled. Finally, they boiled over. The Spanish kingdom has been ripped apart by a 3-sided civil war between numerous factions: the loyalists of the Madrid government, the supporters of the pretender Javier, and finally the anarcho-syndicalist CNT-FAI. There are already numerous reports of volunteers and equipment being shipped to Spain from all over the world to support one faction or another. Spain will be torn to shreds as the battlefield for the ideological forces of the wider world. 5 world tension. It was inevitable. So I'm assuming France is going to support the anarcho-syndicalists. I am not sure who's going to be supporting the national populists in the north here, but we're definitely going to be in support of the king. Can I send Air Force already? I can send 1 air wing. by the looks of it, to Madrid. Yes, I can only send one air wing to Madrid. That is unfortunate, but maybe we'll get more once we get there. But we'll send the 2nd Jagdgeschwader over to Madrid, and they will be doing aerial superiority. Where are we going to be fighting? Probably. Okay, we'll go for Western Iberia for starters. And things in China are falling apart. So again, the Liangguang clique declared war on itself, and is now in a civil war. Since I have just moved this is unfortunate. Give me 2 more infantry divisions over here, and I should still have where are the other ones? Oh yeah, I've still got some south, 3 divisions south here in case anything goes sideways with Siam as a defense in Kuala Lumpur. Just in case we need to have a couple more. Divisions, and we can recruit an operative. So let's see. Hang on, I do already have one. Did I run through the? Oh, I might have run through the upgrades. Did I get 5 upgrades? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's why we get another one. Okay, so we can get a master saboteur, master interrogator, and military background. So for infiltration. We could get an escape artist for rescuing operatives. I think I like Hammond Giscus, master interrogator plus and the infiltration. Not doing sabotage missions too often, and we can get another operative later if we just become spy master. So I'm gonna get Giscus, which means I can. Where am okay, I'm building. He's in Belgium, busy right now, so I'm gonna get him into Madrid, and not in Madrid. Why in Madrid? Madrid's our friends. The French, Catalonia. Off to Barcelona you go, and figure out what's going down there. Okay, dispersed 1 is done. 136. We're not yet at 150, but this applies retroactively, so we're immediately going dispersed 2. For actually probably construction 2. Yeah, factory output is crap anyway. Construction 2 first. So let's rush that. 190 days, and we will be getting. Once we are reaching 150, I will be able to boost our output a little bit. And yeah, nothing happening here. America hasn't fallen apart yet. If they can hold on for 11 more days, that would be great. Mechanical computing is done. So this is too far ahead at this point. This is still ahead of time. I don't need armored cars. Tank research is ahead of time. We could do a bit of artillery research, given that we'll be fighting. Plus 10% soft attack on the support artillery. Not a bad thing to have. Alternatively, I can rush disperse 2, which is probably the better choice. So industry for now. And because we got radio done in 13 days as well. There was a research slot somewhere. Where did it go? Yeah, here, the Kaiser Wilhelm Society. How do I get there? Get there. All of the following. Oh, so I need 1, 2, 3 to do that. Probably not right now. Yeah, we're not going there yet. I have other things to do in the meantime. We need to get the Ruhrkampf done and this one done, and potentially then into the finish of the Tarno Badeplan. So lots of things there. And Bulgaria is asking for our help. Well, given the trouble that they're having with the Belgrade Pact, I can see that. Our ally in the Balkans during the Weltkrieg years, the Tsardom of Bulgaria, has reached out to us with a diplomatic envoy. Concerned by the rearmament of their rivals, yes, they request financial and military support to aid them in a likely war. During the interbellum period, the Bulgarians drifted away from our sphere, citing lacking shared interests as well as their frustration with Bulgaria's treatment in the Weltkrieg. And yet they return to us groveling. Should we spare something for their aid? We are a generous god. We'll send 1,000 military equipment. I don't have 1,000 military equipment, but I will absolutely send you. We'll see what we find in the stockpile somewhere, and go ahead, Bulgaria. I mean, that's what we did with Austria-Hungary as well, where we positioned ourselves against the Belgrade Pact. So let's try to keep the old establishment going here as much as we can. And how the front lines in Spain are looking. Not too much going on in the north just yet. Or maybe we just don't see it yet. But we'll have to wait until our volunteers are arriving, which isn't too long off anymore. And Gandhi has taken power in the socialist bit of India. So he's made a speech about a path to peace and Indian reunification. Okay. So there are multiple bits of India. What we have the Rajputana. I hope I pronounced that correctly. These guys are social democrats. That's the Dominion of India, the remnants of the Entente. We've got the Princely Federation in the south. These are authoritarian democrats. And we now have the Bharatiya Commune. And these guys are radical socialists. So these we don't like, those we don't like. So the Princely Federation in the south, we can't help them with anything, but we will see if they're asking for assistance. We might actually help them. They don't like us too much, so we'll see how they're all faring there against Gandhi. And the civil war in Spain is already going poorly. My volunteers haven't even arrived, but the Carlist forces are already pushing towards Madrid in the north. This does not bode well, and I'm not even sure if we are going to be able to do something about this in time, or if Madrid's going to fall and... Okay, never mind. So we have 5 divisions have arrived in Malaga. So these 5 divisions, new army group, and we are going to get... do we have a field marshal who is... he's got a defensive doctrine, but I can either send Kurt von Hammerstein Eckwart, or I can send von Rundstedt again. Von Rundstedt's kind of got the nice offensive and defensive doctrine, but he's also a brilliant strategist. So I'll send him. I think that's not a bad thing to do. Can't upgrade him, obviously. So the first thing we need to do is shore up Madrid if we can. So let's try to establish a defensive perimeter around Madrid and Toledo, and see if we can get them there. Meanwhile, Air Force, we are doing aerial superiority over Western Iberia, but there's nobody here. It looks like, once again, the enemy has not brought an air force, which is very fascinating. Okay, let's get everybody on the train to Madrid, if you can, and see if we can still make it before the city falls. Oh yeah, also we have 150 political powers, so I can choose either political advisor or industrial concern. I think industrial concern is what I'm going to go with, and I might actually get the Gewerkschaft Deutscher Kaiser for now. Although then I have to change it again later if I don't want it anymore. I definitely want 10% industrial research, and I think that's the highest I'm going to get. Yes, so we could get electronics and industrial research. Synthetics and industrial research, not feeling synthetics right now. This is electronics pure, this is industrial resource gain and efficiency cap. This is This is Civ construction speed. I think I'm going to go with the Gewerkschaft Deutscher Kaiser. And because right now it's the most beneficial for us. So let's do that. And that should speed up the construction efforts radically. Obviously we'll need to finish off these first here, but they shouldn't be too far off anymore. And the Black Monday impact isn't too bad, so civilian construction should be relatively quick. All right, let's get our troops towards Madrid and see if we can manage to get there before the city falls. Is there anything else I currently need to look into? Ruhrkampf is escalating, but we'll deal with that as we get to it. And we're still ahead. We're still ahead of the British in the whole Ireland situation, so that's good. And it looks like the enemy troops from the north have, while they have reached the gates of Madrid, they've realized that they were about to be cut off. So they're actually retreating, which is good. So we can retake the positions in Madrid and stabilize the front line as a first part. But the German-American defense associations, self-defense associations, are done. Which means I can now escalate the Ruhrkampf suppression as a 28-day one, get that sorted, and then close off the Ruhrkampf, which also should help with a couple of things. Black Monday is winding down. It's not that bad anymore, and the vast public works obviously is still going to be there until the end of whole end of Black Monday. Thing is done, but we're starting to get things a little under control. The next big one is the victors of the Weltkrieg. This is one that I really need to get rid of because we're not going to gain any army XP from fighting the civil war in Spain. It's purely for political reasons at this point, which does not make me too happy. So while the troops are rushing to Madrid, the next big part is going to be to stabilize the positions. I think we may end up doing. I might end up sending the mountain divisions here and see if we can push through here and cut off there's a good position here to cut off the Spanish in the east. But first we need to stabilize the north. Probably push them up north towards the river here, and just clear this line here. Have a good defensible position, and then we can sweep east to deal with the anarcho-syndicalists and try to get that under control. That's the plan. Do I have to do anything in China at this point? They are fighting each other. Who am I supporting here? These guys are not in any faction. So they are social liberals, and hang on, was that the right one? Yes, the Wang Shi clique is now the other side, and these guys are authoritarian Democrats. So they're probably more on my side, I guess. We already have the League we sort of have the League on our side and stabilized. So I'm wondering if I need to send yet another set of army divisions over to deal with this situation. But we'll do that in the next episode. That's it for me today. Thanks everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.